Hello and welcome, weary traveler. My name is Melody. I live with my husband Charles in a somewhat rural community just outside of DC. A little over a year ago, Charles and I left our one-bedroom apartment and moved into his parents' house to save money. We paid off my student loans and are now saving for the future. I greatly desire to have our own home someday, a small homestead that can be our sanctuary away from the world. But until that time, I'm working to cultivate the skills I'll need on a smaller scale. Life here isn't glamorous or exceptional, but there are stories I'd like to tell, moments of beauty I want to capture, things that inspire me that I hope will inspire you too. So this is me carving out a space to do just that. I suppose this is really just trying to get that awkward first video out of the way, as well as just laying the groundwork for what my intentions are for this channel. Really, I just want a space for my ideas to live, a place for more slow-paced storytelling, and a place to showcase projects that I'm working on. On my main channel, I definitely feel pressured to keep a very snappy, fast-paced editing style, and that's kind of my fault. I kind of boxed myself into that, I think, because when I started doing that, I started getting a better response, and so then I kept doing it, and I'm trying to kind of back away from it now a little bit, but even then, I am trying to stick to only clothing-related stuff there, but that is such a small fraction of what I do, of what I enjoy, and I have so many other projects I want to share, and I also just want to do more visual storytelling. I think my favorite video on my main channel was from last summer. I did a vlog about moving out of our apartment into this home. Currently, we are renting 2 conjoined bedrooms upstairs in my in-laws' house, and that editing process was so gratifying. I'm very proud of the end result, but predictably, it did not do well. It did not perform well because it wasn't aligned with everything else that I typically post on that channel. So I want this to be a space for those types of videos. I have so many ideas of video projects, of stories, of home improvement stuff that I want to show you guys. And the thing is, the Outfit Repeater channel is gonna continue to be my main one, so I may only upload here once a month. It's not going to be super frequent, but I just need a space for everything else. So that being said, the list of things that you can expect to see here that I am intending to post here, we'll see how that actually plays out, but what my intent is to have a few casual storytelling style vlogs, probably focusing a lot on homemaking and homesteading skills. So this past year, that's been a lot of gardening. There will be lots of gardening content because that's been a big part of my life this last year. And so going along with that, also home improvement, around the home projects. The plan is that by the end of this year, we should be moving down to the basement apartment in this home. It is currently occupied, but God willing, that will be open for us to move in before the end of the year. And there are a lot of changes I want to make down there, a lot of just mostly cosmetic stuff like decorating, but that is also something I enjoy, and I think it'd be fun to share the process of making over those spaces, and just, I don't know, any video projects that I feel compelled to make that don't fall in with the niche of my main channel. There's so much that I want to express, but when I try to on that main channel, it definitely is not well received, or at the very least, the algorithm is like, it tanks. It absolutely tanks. And I could just say, oh well, and share it anyway, but also I don't want to alienate the audience that is there for the clothing content. I already struggle getting views on my sewing stuff, but I'm like, you know what? It's related to clothing, so I'm sharing it on my main channel. So I guess I'll give you a quick mini tour of a few of the spaces that you can expect to see here. It's not gonna be like a full tour. That makes me so nervous when people are just like, here's my whole house and the whole layout, and I'm like, yeah, why don't you just tell them where your fine jewelry and silverware is while you're at it? So I'll just show you a few of the spaces that you can expect to see repeatedly here. So over here is, or was, the garden. I've already ripped up most of what was in here because it was just done for the season. I do have a few pepper plants that are struggling along. I didn't really get much out of them this year. So I'll probably come out in a couple days and just pick what I can off of these. These were my pitiful trellises that I thought would be sufficient, and they were not. So there's going to be a lot of stuff out here to show you. Even during the winter, I have a lot that I want to do just to prepare for next year and change things up. I want to actually expand it out further, that way a few feet, so that I can add an extra garden bed. There's a lot. There's going to be a lot. Over here's my compost pit, and it is thoroughly stanky. And then down this way is my little woodland path that I worked on last fall. So this heads back down toward the creek. I haven't been able to get out here much during the summer just because there's so many mosquitoes and ticks, and I'm not a fan. Oh, I'm getting caught on a prickly. Here's my collection of bones because I think they're really cool. I just don't know where to put them in the house, and I don't really think my in-laws would appreciate that too much. And then the path continues down to the creek. Unfortunately, this ends up being where all the rain runoff goes and kind of jacks up the path a little bit. So my plan is to add a second path in a different spot that I think should be drier and less susceptible to all of that rain runoff. And I do need to just fix up this path a little bit. So I will probably be out in the woods a lot now that the temperature is getting cooler and the bugs are returning to hell where they belong. So you can expect a lot of this wonderfulness. So I guess technically that's the end of the tour. I really just wanted to show you the garden and the woods. Mostly if I'm inside, I'm going to be upstairs in our room or maybe down in the kitchen. I'm not going to do like a full property tour because that's just too much. Thank you so much for joining me today. Safe travels, and I'll see you again soon.